Thankfully, all of the drama has died down just a little bit, but the Fortnite community was upset yet again. Yes, I know, shocker, the Fortnite community was upset about somebody, but this time they were upset against Twitch streamer Quinn Highwire because Quinn was one of the people, and you know what, it's tough to say because we never really know if he actually was responsible for this, but it seems like everybody is kind of getting upset about the grappler glitch being patched and then taking it out on Quinn Hire. We're going to be talking about all of this today, the story behind it. We're going to get into the Fortnite community's reaction about it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. So it all starts off with this tweet that I was just showing you by Quinn Highwire. Hey, at Fortnite status, there's currently an exploit that allows players to cancel the grapples they use it, which allows them to pull out their gun and shoot when they shouldn't, creating an unfair advantage. Now, you don't need audio for this. This is literally just the video of how the grappler works, where you can use it and then you can pull out a gun. Now, the thing was, and what's weird about this is one of those glitches within Fortnite that people really liked. And I never realized how much I liked it myself until I realized that we couldn't do it anymore, okay? So the replies to this were kind of as you would expect, people getting very upset, and I know that the Fortnite community is typically upset about things, but this was actually one of the exploits within the game that people really enjoyed, and if you're not familiar with the channel, I'm somebody who really likes exploits. I like when things like this happen in the game. I find it fun when, not even just something where you could use it as like a tactical advantage, but just stupid things like where you go flying up in the air. I particularly am a person who has fun with that type of stuff, but the problem is, I get it, and I'm with the Fortnite community on this when it comes to, oh man, that's out of the game now. But it was an exploit. This was something that wasn't supposed to be in the game. So, Quinn Highwire, and this is the problem with this, and we're going to continue on with it, okay? So, Quinn didn't exactly do many favors because Quinn did continue on, and obviously, like, there wasn't necessarily anything wrong with that initial tweet that he ended up posting, but there was a response to another post that he ended up saying, I got the pickaxe trick. I'm making damn sure I get this one too. And this is another picture of him of how many times that he's tweeted, hey at Fortnite status, hey at Fortnite status, hey at Fortnite status. So the problem with this entire thing, obviously, is it's giving, and I get it, okay, I get it. And I will say, for the people getting like all up in arms and really hating on Quinn, I am not on your team, okay? I don't think we should be harassing people over this type of stuff, okay? The only issue with this is it's kind of giving that energy of, oh, miss, you forgot to assign us homework. That's the energy that I'm getting off of it, and that's why I think that people were being as upset at Quinn as people were getting upset, you know? So we continue on. Quinn ended up quote tweeting his own post over here and saying, the reactions to this is genuinely so disgusting. Bigotry and violence over a glitch getting patched is exactly why this community is so looked down upon. Do better. Now, there's another issue with this, right? I was scrolling through a ton of the replies. I was trying to get caught up on this, see if this is something worth making a video over. Plus, this was something that was kind of like flying through the Fortnite community. I personally didn't see any bigotry or violence, but I'm not saying that that hasn't happened, especially as somebody who is involved in the online space now with various channels. I am somebody, and I sympathize with people a little bit more now because historically, and I've talked about this on the channel before, historically I would have been like, I would have looked at somebody like Quinn, and if Quinn said, hey, people are writing things threatening violence on me and things like that, historically, I would have looked at a streamer and kind of been like, yeah, right, come on, dude. Come on, let's be realistic here. And then I got into the online space, and I was like, oh, I guess this does happen. People really do get that up in arms and then start DMing people a bunch of stuff. So I'm not ignoring the fact that that may have happened. It's just something that I haven't seen. And the problem with this is people also use this as such like a defense to their point when they're kind of like, actively, and the problem is I don't want to say Quinn's ruining any of everybody's fun, right? I don't want to say that because at the end of the day, it is an exploit and it should not be in the game. But it kind of is at the same time, you know? That's why it's tough, and we don't even know if Epic Games listen to Quinn, right? This whole situation is very weird, but my point being, when somebody is giving that energy, it's easy for them to hide of like, guys, come on, bigotry and violence now, come on, we need to do better. And then you kind of get on that moral high ground above everybody else, so you're kind of like you can avoid criticism that way. So like I said, this entire situation's weird, but of course, it's not just how I feel about it. I wanted to get a gauge on how the Fortnite community felt about it as well. Long story short, for how I feel about it, at the end of the day, it's a glitch, it's an exploit, it should not be in the game, but it is something that I personally would have liked to actually, you know, stay in the game. So I ended up posting this over on X saying, going to touch on this in the video. If you have any thoughts, drop them below and I will include some. Thank you for your time. If you would like to join the conversation, follow me over on X at Clen YouTube. You can find the links at the top of the description with the link tree or the direct link to X within the description down below as well. Like and subscribe if you have not already, guys. Let's hear what everybody had to say about this. So, Sonic User had this to say, okay? The fact that people have the audacity to go after the developers because something isn't the way they want is just disgusting and disrespectful. These people put their hard work and effort into making these things come to life, and this is how the community reacts. I'm sorry to say, but it's absolutely disgusting. This community really has lost the ability to behave. I don't care what anyone says anymore. This community sucks when it comes to BR. It's always sucked. Now, this wasn't one of those things, and I'm sure that this took place. It's just not something that I've personally seen. I can only imagine what the devs were hearing when this ended up getting patched, right? If Quinn was hearing about it, yeah, the devs are definitely hearing about that too, okay? Emmanuel had this to say. I get why people are pissed at the fact that Epic patched this bug after years of it existing. However, harassing a guy who reported the bug is straight up disgusting behavior. Epic would have fixed it regardless of Quinn reporting it or not. This is also true, and I agree with this. We shouldn't be harassing anybody. It's just, I look at this and I go, with the way that Quinn ended up posting like this, for example, I got the pickaxe trick, I'm making damn sure I get this too. That's the energy that I think a lot of people really got pissed off about. But regardless, at the end of the day, you should not be harassing anybody. Obviously, I feel like I'm talking to, I know the Fortnite community is full of some kids, but like there's all ages that behave like this, man. It's just a people issue. I feel like it's crazy to me that I have to say, guys, we shouldn't be harassing people, okay? It's just weird to me, okay? Gable had this to say, Mom, why do I have no friends and get punched in the mouth every day at school? This is in response to Quinn. Like, this is the thing. This is the thing, right? I get the point. What is there to say about that? It's just such a weird one that we're taking a look at today, okay? Todd LaCroix had this to say, honestly, why do people care this much? It was kind of unfair, but instead we should be getting angry at this glitch being patched. It was hilarious. I'm a kitty emote glitch, but with the other skins it looked cursed, but it was hilarious at the same time. Yeah, this was something that I would have liked to see stay in the game, to be honest with you, but I'm with Todd. I don't know why people care about it this much. At the end of the day, there is so much to do within Fortnite, and realistically, is this exploit being absent from the game actively ruining the amount of fun, the experience that you're having in Fortnite? No, okay? Honestly, Quinn doesn't deserve the hate they've gotten. Over an exploit getting fixed, which should have been fixed ages ago, but Epic for some reason never notices until later down the road, like the pickaxe exploit with the car. ATP, I'm just waiting on Epic to fix creative. You know what? Epic should be on creative before anything else. But yeah, it's on Epic Games, and I don't think that people should be harassing with Epic Games either. This isn't something that you were supposed to be doing, okay? Another user had this to say, ruining exploit which benefited almost everyone. What do you expect? We will all thank you now. You can do better and just ignore violence you're apparently talking about. Oof. But the thing is, like, I don't want to keep repeating myself this time around, but you gotta understand why I'm, like, conflicted when it comes to this particular one. At the end of the day, though, again, it was an exploit. The game has been out for the better half of a decade. If you can't do this, then there is something wrong with you. I do actually hold this, like, that is completely true when it comes to a lot of things we talk about in Fortnite, like the people who just, the people constantly campaigning for certain things to be removed from the game. It's the same energy of people who, like, absolutely refuse to do anything within build mode, where it's like, I do not have 12 hours a day, and I have a life, so I can't practice. And more realistically, like, it takes us all 20 minutes in creative to learn something. That's also true, but a little bit off topic, okay? Ragnar had this to say, all they did was report an issue with the grappler, and it got this unnecessary hate. First of all, we don't even know if they're responsible for it, so absolutely no reason for this hate over an issue fixed in a video game. No one deserves this. People posting hate need to do better. I agree with that in general, too. If you're somebody who's just constantly hating on people, I definitely agree that you need to do better when it comes to that, but I do agree with Ragnar, like I said, and I'm sorry, I don't remember if I mentioned it, but I do agree in saying that we don't even know if Epic Games saw Quinn and was like, hey, that's true. We do need to patch this. We do need to fix this, Poe had this to say. This has been in the game since Chapter 1. Are you? And I don't know if that's okay to say on YouTube anymore, but just in case, just give me a second. YouTube, I'm very grateful to be on this platform, and I'm absolutely disgusted that somebody like Poe over here would use that word. I'm not sure if that word's okay, and I don't approve of it, okay? We're safe. This has been a game since Chapter 1. Yeah, it's a little bit, I don't know. I mean, if Quinn was posting this in Chapter 1, that's a little bit too much in my opinion, but I doubt that's the case, okay? Skylar had this to say, there's fun stuff until people like you get upset and report it. It really wasn't an exploit. How TF are zero build players supposed to save themselves? Crybaby. Yeah, but the problem with this is, it's true in the sense that there's always these really fun things in the game, and that people constantly campaign to get these types of things nerfed or removed from the game. But I also agree that, hey, this is a bug. This is something that shouldn't have been in the game in the first place. So at the end of the day, somebody like Quinn is in the right. Again, very conflicted on this topic, okay? Sherlock Holmes had this to say. What is there to say? That's clearly not the way it's meant to be used, so reporting it should be the norm. If you're upset about it, you're the problem. There's literally nothing to say beyond that. I think there's a little bit more we could say beyond that, but I totally understand the point, okay? It obviously was not meant to be the way that it's used, so if you see a bug, you report the bug. Obviously, right? You're basically the kid that reminds it... I said this. You're basically the kid that reminds the teachers about their homework. What makes you think people appreciate that? Yeah, I don't know why you couldn't have just reported it that many times without actually posting it online. That's the weird part about it to me. But again, one of those things that I see both sides of, and I would love to know what you guys think down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to continue on with some Fortnite community drama, then check out this video on screen right now. I would love to have you over there. Thank you very much for being here, everybody. Take care, guys.